What's good, B-Sounds? It's your boy, Kit Kinraid. I am embarking on at least a 4-week cut. 2 months ago was the games, and I was in pretty decent condition. 2 months before that, I was not in great condition, and right now, I'm not in the best condition. I have decided to go on a cut because Halloween's coming up. Halloween, you want to look your best because costumes and shit. And I just need something in the future to aim for. And if it's not Halloween, then I don't have anything to aim for. And I find that if I'm not inspired by a date, then I just eat biscuits. And for the past 2 months, I've been eating a lot of biscuits. I am now not feeling good, and it's not a mental thing. It's not like, oh, you're such a fat boy. It's literally just that my diet has caught up with me. My performance isn't where it should be, and I'm gassed quicker than I should be. Up with this, I will not put. Also, another reason is that my body fat has reached a level where I'm not comfortable wearing crop tops anymore, and that will not do. But when I start a diet, I like to make life harder for me than it needs to be. Because I'm a sadist, possibly, but also I find that if you set up a diet and it's real hard for a week, if you get through that week, the rest of the diet is gonna be like a freaking holiday. So I always set myself a little challenge. Last time I gave up sweeteners, I didn't actually finish that video, but I did do it and I didn't enjoy it. This time we are gonna go budget. I'm gonna spend as little money as possible to get as high a protein and as high a satiety and level of life enjoyment as possible. And I'm gonna take you along with me. I'll let you know what I bought when I buy it, and we'll go through the meals and stuff, and you can see how I look and how much my weight I've lost at the end of that week. Let's see what's under the top.
Oh yeah. Oh, give me that.
So that's what I got. Let's get on the scales. 88.6 kilograms. We'll see where we're at in a week, and then I'm gonna keep going for a month, and I'll probably check in at the end of that month and be like, yo, here's what you can do in a month if you keep your shit together. That is assuming I keep my shit together. So now we know where we're starting from. It is 11 o'clock and I have yet to eat yet. I need to go shopping, so I'm gonna do that, and then I'll fill you in on what I bought. See you in a bit. I've been shopping. I spent £32, and that is almost all, that I'm gonna eat for the week. Let's break it down, baby. Protein sources, eggs, incredibly nutritious, ridiculously cheap. You can get them cheaper than this. I bought the free-range ones, the cheapest free-range ones. You can go caged, but I feel like for the less than a penny cheaper that they are per egg, I'd rather just pay that and know that my chicken could at least go for a walk. You know what I mean? Remember what lockdown was like when you couldn't go for a walk? Imagine that, but for your entire life. That would suck. Milk, ham, tuna, and chicken. You could get chicken thighs, and they are slightly cheaper by weight. However, to get the same amount of protein, you have to eat more. And if you're buying it in this volume, it's actually cheaper per gram of protein to just get the chicken breast fillets. That is for all our dinners. Eggs, we're gonna make waffles for a meal. Also a protein source. You get crap load of nutrition, crap load of healthy fats from your eggs. So don't be worried about eggs, eat a lot of eggs. Ham, I like sandwiches. I wanna stick to this diet, so I'm gonna make it as easy as possible. 400 grams, that's gonna make 2 days worth of sandwiches. Tuna, tin a day, that's 2 days worth of pepper. Milk is gonna go in coffee and waffles and also oatmeal, which we'll get to in a second. I think that's it. Proteins, vegetables, frozen broccoli, frozen peppers, frozen onion. We got some carrots, some chickpeas, some tinned potatoes. That is that. I have leaned heavily into frozen and tinned things. Part of being on a budget is not just buying the cheapest thing, it's about not wasting any of that thing. So these being in the freezer, they ain't gonna go off. These tins will last in your cupboard for years, probably. I would prefer to always be using fresh vegetables, but sometimes frozen vegetables are actually better because the amount of time between them being picked and then being frozen is much shorter than the distance between them being picked and then you actually using them because of all the moving about they've got to do. And it's way easier not to waste them, and minimizing waste is a way of maximizing your budget. Real carrots, I bought these wonky ones because they were a ton cheaper, and yes, they don't last particularly long, but there's no reason you can't prep these up. Just shave them, chop them, freeze them. Ta-da! Vegetables. Carbs, flour for waffles. Porridge for porridge. Rice for meals. Potatoes. They're a vegetable, but are they really? Bread. Misk. A wet cooling sauce and a wet hotting sauce. Sometimes when you meal prep, you can end up with something that's a bit dry. Sauce helps. Sometimes when you're eating the same thing every day, you want something to make it taste like you're not eating the same thing every day. Sauce helps. Cajun seasoning, peri-peri seasoning. Stock cubes are a great flavor bomb when you're cooking. And we're on a budget, man. We can't afford a whole crap load of spices, so this is a good choice. Garlic granules, because you can waste garlic. You can't really waste garlic granules. And if you're cooking something for a long time, it's actually better to put a dry thing in than a wet thing in, because a dry thing hydrates and doesn't really get stronger, but it doesn't get weaker. Whereas if you cook garlic off for ages, by the end, there's no garlic flavor in it anyway. So good choice, I think. Pat on the back for me. Chocolate chips for the oatmeal or porridge, whatever you want to call it. You can also buy some almond butter or peanut butter. I don't like peanut butter. Healthy fats and high in protein, reasonably high in protein. I like chocolate chips. I'm eating chocolate chips. And I have bought 2 tins of oxtail soup. I'll tell you about it when we're cooking. Coffee, this is Aldi's cheapest coffee beans. I'm not an instant kind of fella. So all of this came to £32, excepting the protein powder. I think that 5 kilogram bag currently in their sale is like £35 or something. You know what, I already did the maths. Let's not pretend that I didn't do the maths. Maths. So that 5 kilogram bag cost £37.85 delivered. We're going to use 60 grams minimum a day. We're going to get 47.5 grams of protein for 45 pence. That's pretty hard to argue with that, isn't it? That's less than a pence a gram of protein. One thing you might want to consider if you are both on a budget and cutting back on your food is a multivitamin, and you don't have to buy expensive at all. Aldi do some and they are super cheap, worth considering if that's something you worry about. I tend not to, but I double don't worry about it if I take it, you know what I'm saying? So that is what we've bought. Let's do some cooking. So we've got 2.5 kilograms of chicken divided by 7 days is about 350 grams a day. That's what this is. Well, 350 grams times 3, just over a kilogram. So I'm going to chop this up, get it in a pan. So we're going to meal prep like a POV spec jambalaya. So jambalaya would usually be like chicken, andouille, shrimp, that kind of stuff. We're just using chicken. Usually I'd use chorizo. Can't get andouille around here. But high in fat, high in calories, and high in cost. So I thought, instead of getting chorizo and tin tomatoes, I was going to buy chorizo and tomato soup. Great idea. Loads of flavor, very cheap. It's available from Aldi. It's this one here. However, they didn't have any, so I thought I'd go to Tesco and get whatever their spicy tomato soup is. They didn't have any, so what we got instead is oxtail soup. So it's POV spec. It's POV spec jambalaya. It's jambalaya-esque. 500 grams of onion over 7 days, 70-ish, so it'll be 70, 140, 210. Smells good. Just trying to get a bit of colour on the chicken. Just trying to get max delish. Max delish. So we got a bit of colour on that chicken. Get the onions in there. See if we can get any colour on them. Colour means flavour. So if you're working to a budget and you got all these budget hacks, you want to put as much effort into getting the flavour out of the food that you're actually buying in the first place. And if you can't be asked, whack all this in a slow cooker. It'll be like 90% as good and it'll be the same price. So it's up to you. Some glick. God, that smells good. It's like a fudge. Yummy! I would be salting it at this point if I was cooking as if I existed and not that I just popped into existence and chopped for a whole week. But, you know, salt and pepper's like super cheap. I don't know why I'm doing it this way. If I were you and you've got it, salt it. Fuck off. I will strike you down. Out of here, demon! Pew, pew, pew. Please tell me you saw me slap that fly. Woohoo! Bit of fond on the bottom of the pan. I'm gonna whack in these peppers. Because they are frozen, they're gonna give off a load of liquid, and we can use that liquid to deglaze the pan. Up here for dancing. Chicken goes back in there. Half of this Cajun seasoning. Looks good to me. Let's wang some soup in. Yeah. Turn the heat down. Looks pretty good. 428 broccoli. Chuck that in there. Give it a whirlful. Stick a lid on it. Let it go. You probably want to let it go for a couple of hours. The thing with jambalaya is basically the longer you leave it, the better. We're not trying to get it thicken up or anything. In a couple of hours, when this has reached goodness, we're going to stick all our rice in it. The rice is going to suck up all the liquid. It's going to get freaking delicious. And then we'll leave it on for some hours more. And then when it's eating time, we'll eat it. 2:10, waffle time. It's breakfast. It's the same recipe as I usually use, but we're subbing egg whites for egg yolk. You're gonna go for 3 whole eggs, which should come out about 150 grams. It doesn't really matter either side. 150 grams of milk, 30 grams of self-raising flour, 60 grams of protein, whisk, preheat your waffle iron. That's it. Starting a diet with cake. Come on. All right, 3 minutes. A stack of these has 74 grams of protein. Come on. Out they come. 18.3 grams of fat, 39.1 grams of carbs, 609 calories. Oh yeah. Slightly cakier than made with egg whites. Texture's actually a lot closer to like toaster waffles. Delicious. Not sure if I mentioned what my goals are. I want to stay under 2,500 calories. I want to keep my protein above 200, a gram of protein per pound of body weight. And then anything above that is just for feeling good, you know. Protein is the most satiating macronutrient, so you get a lot of protein, you feel full for longer, that helps on a cut. Also, if you are cutting, it can help to be higher in protein because protein is muscle sparing. I'm gonna eat this cake and we'll catch up next time I eat or next time I have something useful to say. Something useful to say. So I told you everything I bought today is the only thing that's gonna pass my lips for the next 7 days. But what about drinks? Well, there's coffee. I'm gonna use one of those to fist me into the day and then one of those as a pre-workout. And apart from that, we're drinking water. Now, water, you may know, it's quite expensive. But when I moved in this place, whoever lived here before left this. That's water. It's like 4 o'clock, and if I don't eat lunch now, then I won't eat lunch. And I want to eat lunch, so I'm eating lunch. 2 slices of Danish, 20 grams of lighter than light mayo, 200 ham gram. That's it, that's lunch. 365 calories, 25 grams of carbs, 10 grams of fat, 41 grams of protein. What's not to like? Very cheap, very budget friendly, very delicious. I love me a sandwich. This is the correct ratio of bread to filling. We'll give this a try while we're here. Smells good. Hot. That's good. I was concerned about the soup choice, but nah, that is banging. So this is super wet, which we were not worried about before because we're gonna wang some rice in and that rice is gonna suck up that incredible flavor, what we've been developing. And yeah, it's gonna be delicious. I'm gonna have my second coffee now and then I'll see you at dinner so we can talk about whether this is actually good. Spoilers, it is. That's what's up. Hello, it is the evening post-training. So we're gonna divide this delicious meal up into 3 commercially available food containers. And then we're gonna eat one. So it's about 800 grams a serving, which is a hefty weight of deliciousness inside here. I'm gonna eat one of these. I'm gonna freeze the other. It'll be good in the fridge for, they say, like 2 to 3 days. When I was meal prepping properly and didn't know what I was doing, I made rice on the Sunday and then ate it for the rest of the week. So roll the dice if you want to roll the dice. I rolled the dice for like a whole year and everything was fine, but they say 3 days. But it'll freeze great. You freeze it, you make it in the microwave. Pang. Well, it's delicious. It's not jambalaya, because I got the wrong soup because I couldn't get any of the soup. But that soup is really imparting a lot of flavour, and if you're on a budget, that's something that I recommend. Find something that's already delicious and wang it in. Yes, we could have put spices and tomato in, but it's easier, cheaper, and more time efficient just to get soup and put it in and kabam. Delicious. I'm not going to mind eating this a bunch of times this week because I love jambalaya. I'm disgusting from training, apologies. 100 grams of carbs, 9.6 grams of fat, 99.5 grams of protein. It's better than us, huh? 893 calories. That's what I'm going to eat. I may eat again, I may not. If I do, I'll see you. And if not, I'll give you a full day tomorrow. Peace. Yo, yo, it's me, it's day 3, I am he. How's everything going? Yeah, fine. It's pretty easy to be honest, isn't it? Like, a lot of volume, a lot of protein, might not be the most exciting, but food doesn't have to be the center point of your life, does it? It just allows you to have a good time and reach your goals. And my goals are staying the size that I am, keeping what I have achieved and losing what I have achieved. We're gonna prep these 1.5 kilograms of carrots, put the rest in the freezer because, as I said, not wasting food is maximizing your budget. So if you are on a budget, you should really be trying to buy stuff that are gonna last, or buying stuff that is maybe just about to go out and you're getting it at a deal and then freezing it. I'm gonna do this and then we're gonna whip up some sort of, it was gonna be Moroccan chicken, but they didn't have Moroccan spice. So we're gonna try and piri-piri instead. I don't really know what that's gonna taste like. Really good. All right. I'm more optimistic. I'm gonna chop some carrots and then I'm gonna show you why you got no excuse not to cook. I really don't understand how these are wonky. Like, what's wrong with this carrot? I suppose if I'm getting a deal and the food's not getting wasted, then I'm a happy boy. So this 500 grams of carrots is gonna go in a bag in the freezer to be used, you know, next week. That's something we don't have to buy next week. Here is a kilogram of carrots. They're gonna go in tonight's dinner, and dinner for 4 days this week. So I guess part of the reason of making this video, people say I can't afford to eat well, or I don't have the time to eat well. Both of those things are terrific excuses, except that they are absolutely not true. If you want to eat well, you can eat well. This whole week's cost me like £32. That's everything that I'm gonna eat, and that's nutritious, it's high protein, and it's supporting my goals. If we break that down, that's like £4 something a day. If you were gonna go to McDonald's or you were gonna get a takeout pizza, what are you gonna do for £4? If you were gonna go to a supermarket and buy food that was pre-processed for £4, it's cheaper to eat healthy and do a bit of prep. And yes, you might think, all right, well, that's nice, but I don't have time to prep. I'm gonna show you how long it takes to make this meal, all right? Now that we've chopped these carrots, but you could easily have just bought them in a tin, maybe, if you really don't have the time for anything. This meal is gonna take like 10 seconds to put together, and then it's gonna sit around and it'll be ready when we're ready for it. If you have 1 day off a week, you can prep your week's worth of meals, or you could get a slow cooker and you could start that slow cooker before you leave for work. When you come back, if you've chosen to make the right thing, it's gonna be delicious, because the whole point is just leave it on, just leave it going. A lot of things just get better. So what I'm saying is you can do this, and I am gonna do this, so let's whip it up. This is a slow cooker. You can easily do exactly the same thing in a pan. You don't need nothing special. So here's the rest of that bag of onions that we used the other day. Onions. Here's a kilogram of carrots that we just chopped. Carrots. Here's the rest of the broccoli. I'm gonna chop up this chicken. This is the rest of that 2.5 kilogram pack. Chicken. Pretty mountainous. Couple of stock cubes, half a thing of this peri-peri seasoning, bit of wet, lid, turn it on. Ta-da! And then later, once it's come down a little bit, we can thicken this can of chickpeas and these 2 cans of potatoes. And that's that. You can't do that once every 4 days. You don't have 5 minutes once every 4 days. Come on. I don't mean to come across as an ass. It just comes very naturally to me. You can do this. If you don't want to, that's fine. No one can argue with that. You don't have to. That's cool. Do you, man? But if you want to, and you're putting this up as an excuse for yourself, you deserve better. Treat yourself better. 4 days worth of dinner, 5 minutes. Yo, so this has been going some hours and has shrunk down some. I'm really not a fan of chickpeas or any kind of beanie type thing, but they are a great source of protein, and they're also very cheap and very filling. So, you know, load up, baby. Drain, drain, empty, empty. Definitely working to capacity. Anything that's not submerged is still gonna steam, so it's all good, is what I'm saying. And we'll give it a taste. I'm good. I'm gonna whack in the rest of that peri-peri and hope that I don't just blow my own socks off. And there you go. If you wanted a drier meal, you might want to take the lid off and let it go, you know, an hour or so uncovered, evaporate off some of that moisture. But if it's wet when it goes in the Tupperware, it'll probably still be moist when it comes out of the Tupperware. Moist, 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 moist. All right, I got a train. I'm running so late today. See you in a bit.
You skate!
What does that mean?
It doesn't taste like peri-peri.
No, I put a whole tub in there.
It tastes like a chicken stew, which is still nice.
Yeah.
But it's not, like, you agree this is 0 on the spice scale, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Even for me, this is not spicy.
It's really nice. I was just expecting peri-peri. Can you imagine this on like a cold bonfire evening with some crusty bread? Some butter. You know, real diet food.
Things that aren't in my budget. I was imagining that I've just been born, I'm fresh into the world, and now I have to fend for myself for the week.
So you don't have like...
I didn't have the
You don't
47 pence for salt, no.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. So there's no salt in this?
No. Well, there's whatever salt was in the
Whoa.
peri-peri.
We're like stereotypical white people now.
Why? Because that's
We
salting
haven't
our
flavoured
food.
our chicken.
Well, what if I was to tell you that this meal cost less than £2.50
Didn't it?
and had...
What, each?
Each. I had 100 grams of protein. 100!
Each?
Mhm.
That's good.
Mhm.
That's like my whole intake.
Mhm. Well, do you feel poor?
No.
Good.
I had a penguin earlier.
But eating this, you're like, ooh.
No. It's a ginormous bowl of food. Yeah, it makes you feel good.
Great.
There's a reason why you eat this sort of stuff when you're poorly.
It works for me.
Good job.
Thank you. Thank you very much. You owe me £2.49. See you tomorrow. Well, it is, Saturday afternoon. And so far, everything's been pretty easy. I had a pretty full-on day today. I was helping a friend shoot a music video. And I gotta tell you the truth. I had waffles before I left so that I had lots of protein in me and something to go on. But there was a catering cart and it had both toffee yum yums and Haribo jelly snakes. And I ate one of each. What are you gonna do? It's free, so technically I didn't spend any money on it, so technically I didn't break my budget. So technically everything's fine. Although, you know, it was probably 500 useless calories, but I've been eating way out of my calories for the last couple of days, so I'm not particularly worried about it. So I had waffles, had garbage, had a sandwich when I got in, just went for a walk around the park, and now I'm probably gonna eat some more peri-peri chicken that isn't peri-peri chicken. Skates is probably right. Invest in salt and pepper before you invest in especially that spice mix, because I used that whole tub to make 4 meals. It shouldn't have taken that whole tub, and it was pretty bland, but the sriracha brings it back, and it's flipping delicious when properly applied. I also forgot to put garlic in like an idiot, but I was rushed yesterday, rushed today, hoping to chill out a bit tomorrow. Spider. I'm pooped. I had a pretty physical day. Everything's going good. So, see you on the flippity flop. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's day 6, and to be honest, it's been pretty good. I've actually enjoyed meal prepping more than I expected because you have to cook less, and I might keep it up. Gates has decided to eat with me, eat the same thing I've been eating a couple of times, so I'm out of food. So I'm remaking the Cajun one. What I did manage to get was the tomato and chorizo soup, which was the original plan. Maybe she'll be available for comment this time. Last time she didn't have any eyebrows on. I guess if she's willing to eat while I'm eating, it just shows that the food is actually good and we're not just, you know, suffering. That smells way more like a jambalaya. But the other one was also delicious. That's jambalaya. Hey Skates! Let's really try this jambalaya. Tell me, do you think it's any good? Need you to... Oh. Does it taste like a jambalaya?
Yeah.
Good.
More
The
of
front of her head is way more enthusiastic than the back of her head, I promise. Come on, have fun. Take your dinner. I think it tastes like jambalaya. I really like it. I think that if we had bought a sriracha that wasn't quite so cinnamony, a little bit extra spice in there would be good. I'm starving to death, so I'm going to eat this, and then we'll catch up tomorrow about how things are going. And tomorrow will be the last day, I think. Yeah. We'll talk then. Peace. My cleaning style is similar to my training style, which is minimum effort and maximum results. It's Monday. This is the last day. So far this morning I've had waffles, very delicious. I've had tuna mayo on toast, very delicious. I'm about to have my last meal pre-training. I'm going to share it with you because it's freaking delicious and I love it, and I'm probably going to keep it after this phase of dieting is finished, and by probably I mean most definitely, because it's proper good. It's just protein, oats, and yeah, yummy. I like to do it in a plastic thing. I like to nuke it in that because it's less likely to go all over everywhere. You don't end up with a bowl made of lava. So grab yourself a plastic measuring container, put in 40 grams of oats and 200 grams of skimmed milk, bung it in the microwave for like 2 minutes, take it out, give it a whirlful, bung it in the microwave for another 2 minutes, then it should be delicious. Transfer it to a bowl, the bowl that you're going to eat it in, and you wang in 1 scoop of protein, which for me is 30 grams, and once that's incorporated, wang in 10 grams of chocolate chips. This is the magic. It is so good. And I'm about to burn them off because fast setting carbs, working out like a beast. Bloody delicious, highly recommend it. Later I'm gonna have my very last jambalaya. Then we'll weigh me in the morning, see how I've done this week, and we'll talk about what's been good, what's been bad, what I do differently, and etc. See you there. So it is day 8, week done. We'll find out what I weigh in just a minute, see how we've done, but what have I learned from the week? Well, it was easy, which is great. I mean, a diet has to be easy, otherwise it's hard. And like, you can't keep something up if you're using willpower to keep it up. Benefits of doing it this way, obviously budget, excellent. I spent £32 plus whatever the protein powder was, you know, for the week. In fact, let's find out. I used 510 grams. I spent this week on protein powder, I know you have to buy it in the first place, but I spent £3.86 on protein powder. That was for 510 grams, which gave me 423 grams of protein. You can't beat that. As you know, I'm not really, well, you might not know, this might be your first time meeting me, in which case, hello, I'm Kit, nice to meet you. I don't drink protein shakes, but I do use protein powder to make food, because especially when you're cutting, every calorie that goes in, I want to chew it, I want to masticate it. It's got to be an enjoyable experience, whereas to me, just drinking a drink, that's not what I need. I need to chew as much as possible to keep my sanity. Buying protein powder, I really do think is a good idea, especially if you want to retain muscle mass. Like, nothing's going to come close to it, protein per pound. It's just the fact that you got to invest in a chunk of it to get it for a good price. I also like that total protein blend because it is a whey casein blend. So you've got a protein that is fast to digest and a protein that is slow to digest. It's going to keep protein like drip feeding into your body, and that's a good thing. I've actually really enjoyed meal prepping. I'm not a meal prep guy. I'm a fresh vegetables, cook every night kind of guy. But the fact that I can come in and then nuke a meal and I have a meal, I've really enjoyed that. And I think I'm going to keep that going, even if it's only, you know, for 2 or 3 nights a week. If those are training nights, that means I come straight in from training and eat, which doesn't make any difference other than the fact that I can sit down quicker and eat quicker, and that feels good. I'm not trying to hit some kind of anabolic window because your body don't know the difference. One of the things I like about this diet is that it has the quick access to food that eating garbage does, but we're eating minimal processed foods, and basically that's good for you. The less processed foods you can eat, the better your life is going to be. Microwaves are safe. We decided they're safe. It's fine. What's actually going to bother you is the quality of what you put in the microwave. If you're putting in delicious food made of real ingredients, it's going to come out delicious food made of ingredients but hot. If you're putting in something that is hyper palatable and processed, you're going to bung it in the microwave. When it comes out, it's going to be processed and hyper palatable. Processed foods are all designed to make you want to eat more food, and that doesn't help when you're on a calorie restricted diet, aka a diet that works. If you are bulking instead of cutting and you want to do this same thing on a budget, I mean, I'll probably make a video, but the gist of it will be use more rice. What did I do wrong? I didn't buy salt and pepper. That was stupid. I was trying to be smart. I was trying to be like, oh, instead of spending your money here, spend your money there. And for the soup, that worked really, really well. I bought Danish bread because I always buy Danish bread when I'm cutting. The only reason Danish has less calories is because it's less bread. It's just less dense and less size. So maybe that, but I enjoy psychologically having 2 pieces of bread. Trying to think what else. What did I miss? A cup of tea. I'm British and I haven't had a cup of tea in a week, so that's not right. To be honest, apart from that, this has been real easy. So, including the protein powder, we spent £35 for the week, and I have some stuff left. I have 6 eggs, 1,290 grams of flour, 4 pieces of bread, 800 grams of oats, 625 grams of rice, 30 grams of coffee, a bumload of sriracha, and 330 grams of mayo, 70 grams of chocolate chips, 8 stock cubes, and 1.25 litres of milk. All of that stuff comes to £4.87, so if you take that off the £35 that I spent for the week, including protein powder, I actually spent £30.13, which is £4.30 a day. I mean, I think that's pretty good considering we got more than 200 grams of protein per day, stayed under our calories, got enough vegetables, fats, that kind of stuff to support our health. I have managed to almost half my food budget and not made any difference to my progress. You know, this is supporting my progress. It was good. It was good. I really enjoyed it. I had a good week. And now I suppose we should see how I did weight-wise. I'm thinking probably pretty good. This would be better if I remembered what I weighed last time. Well, it's got to be good because my scales don't recognise me. It says 85.6 kilograms. Pretty good. Let's go inside. You can judge for yourself. So I realised I'm supposed to be a good YouTuber and lose all the body hair and have better lighting so that I look a billion times better than I did last time. But that ain't me. I'm going to tell you the truth.
Oh yeah. Oh, give me that.
So 1 week's difference, it's not going to be the world of difference, but it is moving in the right direction. We've started a diet with a harder week, so now the rest of this diet is going to be an absolute breeze. And actually this week wasn't that hard, to be honest. I look forward to, if somebody offers me something, being able to say yes instead of saying no because that doesn't fit in with my budget. But you won't have that problem because you aren't doing this stupid video. If you enjoyed this stupid video, let me know. Do us a like, do us a subscribe. All that stuff really does help me out. And I would genuinely be grateful. I'll keep you up to date with how this cut is going. If you have any questions, anything you want to see, let me know. Hit me up. I'm here for you, brah. And whatever you do, get them gains. Be well.